Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Let's Watch of RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 3.
I am Max.
I am Nathan. Hey, we remembered to introduce ourselves.
I remember reading that in your description at one point.
Yeah, I was like, we should probably introduce ourselves because we might be getting some new listeners on SoundCloud. Who
That
knows?
is a very small mite, but yes, this is true.
Very small might, but regardless. Okay, so we are on Chapter 3, Unforeseen Complications. You have already
Of
seen
Volume
this.
5. I
Yeah,
have already seen this because I watched things beforehand.
right.
And I
So,
will I will leave comments until after. There's nothing grand that I hate in it necessarily, like last episode with Sienna.
well, that's good.
But yeah.
And as always, you can find a link to the video we're watching in the description, so check that out. And once you bring that video up, we're going to count down and we're going to hit play on go. So it would be 3, 2, 1, go. So everyone get on your marks. 3, 2, 1, go.
And if you have difficulty watching this or understanding this, remember that YouTube has captions and they're like official captions, so you can put them up if you want.
Yeah, it'd be pretty helpful since we might end
Yeah.
up talking over a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. We don't have the luxury because we watch it the day before it comes out on YouTube.
Right. We're watching on roosterteeth.com.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. That scene is ruined for me now because you sent me a terrible, like, what is it? What are they
Supposed
called?
to be positive.
Yeah, like
Positivity blog.
positivity blog, but it's just silly.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I appreciate the effort, and if some people can like enjoy that shit, good for them. But
Yeah, I just
but
find it
like,
silly. But if it works for people,
yeah.
then fuck me.
I'm honestly really happy that the volume is going much better than last one so far.
Yeah, it's way more intriguing, more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Rather than we're walking, we've hit a town, thing happens. We're walking.
Yeah, lots of walking. And now we have pacing.
That's very terrible handwriting. She's so small.
So small. He's trying
All
so
right.
hard.
He is.
Hmm. Now she dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or so we think. Nah.
No.
But he's strong though.
Ugh.
Uh
I just got hiccups, I think.
oh. Uh oh.
She's basically a criminal. You weren't even doing anything. Okay, but why was he the first one to even do anything?
I don't know. These people were here for a speech.
Okay, but like one person just screams after her and then nothing happens. I don't understand that scene.
Yeesh, no shit. Was his voice always that deep?
Oscar?
Yeah.
No idea.
There we go. Oh, is that what's going on? He's got two souls shoved in that little body?
Yeah,
Okay.
Volume 4 stated that.
Oh, God. A little slow in the uptake, huh? Wow. We kind of called it.
Mm-hmm. But just I'll say after.
Wizard Jesus. Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
She's the Spring Maiden.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm. That's not a spoiler because it basically shows that in the credit in the intro.
Okay. She's got some seriously short hair.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. We're just here to do the evil laughs. Stop.
He's so small, Oscar.
I know. Fucked up.
Bad luck.
Yep. Training arc!
Ignore him.
Okay, so if Ozpin was just in the body of someone else previously, then what happened to that person's conscious?
I'd imagine they eventually merge.
That's creepy.
This is such an awkward moment. Crow looks so unimpressed.
Looks like she could slip through those bars. Oh, that was an abrupt end. Okay. Well, that was a pretty plot-heavy episode. Lots of just explaining and setting up, which is okay. But it seems like we finally know what's going on with Ozpin.
Well, it's also curious. Like, we don't really know if he's Wizard Jesus yet.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. Feels like it's kind of pointed in that direction. Like, it wouldn't be too outlandish to come to that conclusion.
No, it wouldn't. It's just curious because, like, so apparently he was cursed into, I almost said respawning, into reincarnating into a different, into respawning, into reincarnating into a different, like, body every time his old one dies. Because he failed to stop Salem in the past, and because of that, the gods cursed him for it. Which is just interesting and weird. And I do wonder, like, what came first, the relics or the maidens? Because depending on which, if the relics came first, and like say that that originally the maidens didn't have to be the ones to control them, they weren't like the keys to them, then Wizard Jesus kind of just screwed over the gods by creating the maidens.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Then if the maidens were first, I don't know why the gods would create the relics. Yeah.
Well, it would kind of make sense that maybe the relics would come after the maidens because the maidens are the keys to the relics. But
yeah, but there was no mention. There's no mention of the maidens at all in Crow's story last volume.
True. So I don't know. I don't think they know. I think they're still trying to like tie this up somehow.
This is true, and they still have to. They don't like. That's not even accounting for Silver Eyes, or the moon, or like lots of shit.
Yeah, those are like two mysteries that have just been strung on for so long. But yeah,
like the moon has been implied to have some big significance in what happened to Summer Rose and the whole thing with that. And then straight up, we have no explanation for why silver eyes are an important thing. Like they have a lot of power, and the people who have them can like destroy Grimm if they can harness that power. But why do they have that power?
It's a damn good question. It feels like we might get a lot of answers for that in this volume.
I hope so.
I mean, they better, because the previous one just didn't explain shit. We learned, like, I think the biggest reveal that happened in the previous volume was we learned what Crow's semblance was, and were introduced to new deities, new beings of power. And that was it. That's all I remember of significance from previous.
Pretty much. I can't honestly remember if I mentioned it or not, but have I addressed the theory of Yang becoming a maiden?
No, I haven't heard that.
So some people have come up with like the theory of a what if, because obviously Yang is going towards Raven, and Weiss is already basically at Raven, at her camp. She is being kept there, and Yang is probably going to meet up with her very likely, if not next episode, then within the episode after that. Unless they're going to do some bullshit. Oh, you were there like 1 second after, but they don't see each other, which might happen, but who knows. But since Yang and Weiss are going there, and Spring is there, people have suggested the theory of what if she became the Spring Maiden through one way or another. Because also, like, looking at like the big general, like the big arcing story of each character individually of Team RWBY, you have Ruby, who like her current goal is kind of up in the air because Volume 4 was a piece of shit. But it is leading to her towards Cinder and then Salem. Blake has her whole thing with the White Fang and Adam, and that's where her whole journey is leading her.
Right.
Weiss has all been about her family and her father and her connections with it, and she's just broken free of that. And so her exact, like, the path of her journey is sort of up in the air at the moment, and I'm curious to find out what it will be. And then Jay is messaging me. Shut up, Jay. And then you have Yang, who her entire story was like, you could argue there wasn't too much. Like she's just sort of like a go with the flow sort of girl, and she's a little connected with Blake because, you know, Adam and her arm.
Right. But, well, wasn't she kind of looking for
her mother?
Yeah, mother.
Exactly. And we're about to hit that point in the story where she meets up with Raven, very likely. Like when Weiss, like her title was stripped of her, and she just decided, fuck my father, he's a piece of shit, I'm gonna run away and do what I want. And so that sort of like partially concluded that part of her, of Weiss's story, and so we might be coming up to that point for Yang, where her whole thing with her mother is starting to close. And so if that is the case, then people theorize, well, what's the next step? Well, Yang hasn't really had any like I want to do this with my life. She's even stated like in one of those Y episodes that you love so much, but she's stated herself, she's like, well, I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm just sort of like go with the flow, and Huntresses can help people, so I'll just become that. But if she becomes a Spring Maiden, then that's a whole bunch of shit that, like, well, now you have a thing that you gotta do. So...
And it'll most likely become a sacrificial thing.
I mean, who knows? But that's basically what people have theorized. Like, what if she became Spring?
Well, it's possible. Wasn't it how someone becomes a maiden is that the one who already has one of the seasons, they have to have someone in their thoughts before they die, and then whoever was in their thoughts receives it?
So 2 ways that the power of the maiden is passed on. One if a younger female, because maidens had to be young females for whatever reason, if a younger female is the last thing in their thoughts before they die, the power is passed on to that individual.
Right.
Or if they don't think of a young female, or if they think of something else in their thoughts right before they die, it's random. So you're kind of screwed. And I mean, as far as what Ozpin and Ironwood and Crow said, in volume 3, basically you don't really know what happens if that is the case. You just kind of gotta figure it out, pretty much.
Great.
Yep.
Well, what I'm
so
thinking.
it's possible.
Yeah, what I'm
And
thinking.
like, it doesn't have to be like if Yang killed her. It could just be like if she was the last person in her thoughts in general of Vernal.
But killing would be a pretty surefire way.
That's what Cinder tried to do to Amber before she was interrupted, and eventually she got it anyway. But
Right. But I think that's a pretty surefire way to successfully have that power transferred to you. Is if you kill them, yeah, you're probably going to be the last thing in their thoughts before they die.
Yeah, and I think Crow literally said that. That is like a very surefire way to do it. But well, Yang isn't the kind of person to kill someone like that. No.
Yeah, maybe not for that purpose, but if she's put in a situation where she needs to defend herself, which I think
maybe.
Looking at this Spring Maiden, she looks like a badass. So I'm thinking she's going to put some of these characters into some dire straits, and they're going to have to do some drastic things to protect themselves.
Either that, or if Yang is in her quote-unquote Hulk mode and isn't really thinking about it and doesn't really realize her own strength, it might happen. But yeah. I don't know. But that's like one theory that people have suggested, like, what if this happened? And I personally think it could be cool. I know that some people don't like the idea of any of Team RWBY becoming a maiden, and I do not like the idea of all of them becoming a maiden, because 1, that's stupid, 2, that's so cliched, and 3, I don't know if that would even work with RWBY Silver Eyes, because the powers kind of contradict each other either way.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think it will.
No, I don't either. I don't think so. But I think I like the idea of Yang becoming Spring.
Right, because, as you said, it seems like her motivation for doing things is just to find Mom, and that's going to be happening soon. And then after that, it's just, all right, what are you doing?
Protect RWBY, I guess.
Yeah.
And go and protect Blake, I guess.
Right.
Like, it's just sort of like connected with others, not anything personalized to herself.
She'll just be relegated to some kind of sidekick support character that just doesn't really have much significance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's not cool, because she's a really good character and she needs to have a bit more significance to herself.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. I don't know if they'll do it, but it's an idea.
We'll find out.
What do you think? What did you think of the episode in general?
Needed. It was a lot of what was going on in that episode was pretty intriguing. I was trying to listen to it very closely, which is why I hardly said anything throughout it, because there was just so much talking, but it was needed. I think this was a good setup for just getting things into motion, and now we get to see how everything unfolds.
Yeah. Even though, in my opinion, Blake's scene was very, very poorly done.
Yeah, that's pretty sloppy. But still, it's a setup regardless, and things are going to start happening.
Yeah. Well, even the end confused me. I don't even know if you noticed. I commented on it, but like, the ending is just like, what the fuck is happening? Because Ilya jumps away, and then some random dude just screams, "After her!" And then the 2 White Fang members just kind of smile to each other, and everyone's frozen. No one goes after her. No one goes after Gira. No one does anything.
I don't know. I really don't know. It's kind of hard to gauge where all of these Faunus land with how they feel towards the human race.
Although, one weird and interesting thing is like the fact that Gira was able to find that Adam intended to overthrow Sienna.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're gonna go with that, but if it's actually like, if you can prove that shit, then, well, Adam might be kind of screwed in that aspect. If it goes out.
That's true, but he's strong though. I don't know. I think they're just trying really hard to paint him as a very strong bad guy,
Asshole.
You know, he's going to have all of these people against him, and he's still going to put up a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think that's probably the sloppiest part of this volume so far.
And the whole lore. But that's another thing entirely.
Yeah. A whole other beast.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes. One thing that's interesting, Mercury and Emerald seem to have died.
Yeah, where the fuck are they?
They're
they just pieced out.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
They're not there. Bye, I guess.
I mean, what were their motivations before?
Help Cinder.
Right. Yeah, I guess they were like lackeys, weren't they?
Uh-huh. I know. I've seen that they showed up in RWBY Chibi before, but like other than that, I have no idea. And we're not about to watch that.
Nope.
So I don't know.
Maybe they'll show up. I hope they do. But
yeah, I really like Emerald design.
Me too. But
I mean, I know.
If they can't figure out what to do with these characters, then they shouldn't bring them in just to bring them in.
No, they instead they just brought in 4 more last volume. Hey, here's some more evil bad guys.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't know. It's I don't know.
Yeah, we've got
Mercury's entire personality just is summed up as asshole. So like
yeah, we've got plenty of bad guys. Well, all we can do is wait and see. So, yeah, that was chapter 3, volume 5, and our thoughts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the next one.
I mean, I'm excited. Apparently, there's going to be some shit with Yang, and I'm like, I want to see that.
I want to see that too.
I really hope that, if not this one, then please the next one, that Weiss and Yang will meet up, because we need to see some Team RWBY girls together again.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That just feels like we've been missing that for way, way too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the strongest point, the strongest part of this whole series was their interaction with each other.
Yeah.
And we've been without that for quite a long time, ever since the fall of Beacon. So
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. But until then, all of you stay beautiful.
Stay beautiful.